Alrighty then, it is the wee hours of Monday morning. And time to show up. I'm showing up. I'm glad you showed up. I appreciate every single one of you. And let's, wow. Having moved my synth over here, there's not a lot of space for me to put stuff. That's kind of problematic. Let me turn that a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I had a fun day today because Substack has decided that you have to accept Apple Pay for subscriptions. Now, I don't have any paid subscriptions, so it's not like this has any actual effect on me, but fuck Apple and the horse they rode in on. So I'm not happy with this. I don't like the way that it's implemented, which is basically if you pay to subscribe through Apple Pay, then you pay extra. I don't like that. I don't like that particular added issue there. So I'm moving my blogging efforts from Substack over to Subscribestar. I lose a little bit. Like, you won't get emails anymore if you subscribe to the newsletter. You have to go to Subscribestar to see the posts. But, you know, I announce them on social media. If you're following me on Blue Sky or on Tumblr, you're going to see me talking about the stuff that I put out. There are links in the doobly-doo every single time. So it's not going to be hard for you to find this stuff, but you do kind of have to initiate it, which I do tend to prefer. I think we live in this world these days where way too many of us are kind of sitting on our collective arses waiting for something we like to come across the feed. And I think that's a really sad and pathetic way to live your life. Now, maybe it's a generational thing. Maybe, I do get on YouTube and they frequently come across my feed with something that I want to see and that's great, something that I never would have thought of. And I think that's wonderful. I get the same experience on Tumblr, the same experience on Blue Sky. I mean, those are my three primary social media networks. Substack, I really like Noah Smith's blog. I like Noah. Noah and I have been friends for a good long time. Other than that, there's not a whole lot on Substack that I much care for. There are a couple of economists, and that's about it. And I think it's kind of funny that Substack has Nazis on their platform. I don't care. Substack lets the Nazis charge money on their platform and make real cash. I don't care. Substack platforms specific Nazi and white nationalist blogs and says, hey, check this out. I don't care. But they partner with Apple Pay, and I'm like, no, fuck that. No, I'm out of here. No way. No fucking way. Nazis are cool, but not Apple. Not Apple, no. And really what it comes down, because I had to think about that. You got to think about that sort of thing and go, well, why is that okay and the other thing isn't? Because it's not my place to tell you what to do. This is the same objection I had to Stop Killing Games. It's not their place to tell game publishers, you can't make games we don't like. Just like Stripe and MasterCard and Visa and PayPal. It's not their place to tell businesses, you can't sell products we don't like. And in exactly the same way, it's not my place to tell Substack, you can't host blogs that I don't like. But when Substack turns around and tells me, you have to accept Apple Pay, that's over the line. That's not their place. I don't care for that at all. You don't get in other people's business and tell them what to do, is really what it comes down to. That's the problem I have with Stop Killing Games, is why I think a voluntary participation system is much better for that. And a great example of that is, I don't have anything readily available to demonstrate this, but, well, wait a minute. What about this Coke bottle? Does this have, I don't see one, but what I'm thinking about is kosher certification. Every Jew on the planet is looking for the kosher certification on a product to make sure that it's produced under kosher dietary restrictions. Now, Coke is purely vegetarian. There's no animal products in Coke, so they don't have to do kosher certification. Everything's cool. Unless, of course, they process animal products in the same plant, which I don't think they do. I don't think Coca-Cola does anything animal-based. I really don't think they should. But a kosher certification, that's entirely voluntary. The food packaging companies contract with groups like the Orthodox Union and say, hey, we want to put your logo on our product. And in order to put your logo on our product, then we have to pay you a fee, and we have to let you inspect our facilities to make sure that we're abiding by your regulations. And that's all voluntary. Nobody makes them do it. Nobody forces them to do it. But if they don't, Jews won't buy it. It's that simple. You could do the same thing with video games. In fact, we're already doing that with video games. The ESRB ratings, those are voluntary. You choose to put those on your game. And it's just an agreement where you go, look, we'll get this certification, we'll get this rating for our game, and then you'll have that rating on the game, and you'll know whether it's something you want to put on your shelves. And all of the various outlets said, we will not put an adults-only game on our shelves. And that was bullshit, and I don't think they should have done that. But it was voluntary participation. The individual stores said, if your game is rated adults only, we won't put it on our shelves. The ESRB didn't say, if your game's adults only, we're not going to rate it. The ESRB didn't say, look, if you don't get your game rated, you can't sell your game. You just had individual businesses saying, if you don't have a rating, we won't sell your game. They're allowed to do that. It's their business. They're allowed to say what they do and don't accept. I don't agree with that. I think they should sell games that aren't rated. I think they should sell games that are adults only rated. But if they choose not to do that, that's their choice on what they're going to do in their business. That's their behavior. They're in charge of it. I'm very much okay with that, even if I don't like the decisions they make. So anyway, I am deciding whether or not I want to migrate all of my old content off of Substack and onto Subscribestar, and I'm kind of leaning in the direction of doing it. But that's a lot of posts, and I'd have to copy them all manually because there's no easy way to import from Substack to Subscribestar. So I think I'm just going to have to do that manually. But I like it when I choose the stuff that I'm interested in doing. I like it when I go online and say, hey, here's the thing I want to see, and I go and I see that thing. I don't much care for getting online, going to 3 individual sites, and going, what's here? What is the algorithm shoving down my throat today? Whatever it is, I guess that's the thing that I'm interested in today. I always try to push back against that and go, here's the thing I'm interested in. Here's the thing I want to know. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that. I feel like a lot of people, I feel like that's kind of what doom scrolling is just like, I don't want to go find the thing I want to see. I want you to just like hand me the thing that I want to see. I'll know it when I see it. So just keep showing me stuff. And when I like it, I'll stop. I don't think that's a good way to run your life. I don't think that's a good way to look for content. I don't think that's a good way to manage your social media consumption or your internet usage. I think you need to go, I want to see a thing, and go get the thing and see it. And that's the way the internet used to work back in the 90s. And I don't know, maybe I'm just old and I want things back the way they used to be, but maybe it really is better. And I don't know for sure. I really don't. I mean, I spend a good amount of time on YouTube just looking at recommendations. And when I go to Blue Sky, you know, I do just like look at what other people are talking about. When I go to Tumblr, I look at what other people are talking about. I'm tuned in to what the current drama is on these platforms as a general rule. But I also pretty ruthlessly block people that I don't want in my feed. It's like YouTube keeps trying to show me, hey, here's cool shit you can do with AI. Don't recommend channel. Hey, here's something you're interested in. Ooh, I am interested in that. Ooh, that's a text-to-speech voice. That's not a human being narrating this. That is a machine. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Don't recommend channel. Lately, they've been trying to show me AI dubbed videos, and I'm very torn about that because they're trying to give me the AI dubbed videos for a channel that's in Korean that I'm already subscribed to. I subscribed to a Korean channel. I want the videos in Korean as they were originally recorded. I don't want an AI dub. That's not what I'm looking for. I prefer the subtitles. There's no way for me to tell YouTube that. There's no way for me to indicate to YouTube I don't want to see AI dubbed videos. I don't know. Maybe I could search through my settings and see if there is a way to say that. There's probably not. They're really trying to shove the whole AI thing right down your fucking throat. And I don't like that. I don't like it when people try to shove something at you and go, you must take this. You must. This is for you. You must take it. I don't want it. And sometimes it's painful to tell the platform that you're on, I don't want this, and I don't want it so much that I'm going to leave. But that's the only thing they care about, and that's the only way they learn. Not that it matters, because you should have known better to begin with. It's not like if Substack says, you know what, we're going to get rid of that Apple Pay requirement. It's not like if they did that, I'd go back. It's just this is the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm still not happy about the whole Nazis on Substack thing. So, yeah. I'm just leaving Substack. I won't be going back. I don't know what I'm going to do with my old posts there. Maybe I'll just leave them. But there's a solid chance I may just outright delete them. Because, you know, like, why should I leave them there? I'm not there anymore. Anyway, let's go do more large to small shit. And in fact, let's do some value study stuff. I've been kind of pushing towards this. I need to do more that is oriented toward value studies and less that is oriented toward color studies. So, hold on, let me let me find the right folder. And I'm going to grab the folder that's full of all my pictures of Huong, because of course I am. And I grab this one. How's this one? Okay, yeah, I like that one. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here to our auto actions. We're going to pick the add blur layers. We're going to whack play. Boom. And what? Why did that not? There we go. I think I just misclicked or something. Okay, so now I'm going to select all of those. I'm going to copy them, and we're going to open a new image. And in that new image, we're going to come down to the reference folder, and we're going to paste all of those. And now that we've pasted all of those in the reference folder, we're going to hit Control-T to transform, and I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to drag it over. First of all, we got to select the folder. Cancel. Cancel. Select the folder. So we're moving all of the images, not just the one that we happen to be clicked on. We're going to move it, and we're going to resize it. There we go. Or say, okay, there's that. And now we're going to jump in here. We're going to add a correction layer, new correction layer, hue, saturation, luminosity. And we're going to grab saturation. We're going to drag it all the way down to 0. And now we got a black and white image. And now we're going to come down here. We're going to do a new correction layer of brightness and contrast. And we're going to take that contrast up to around 50. Well, that's a bit high. Why don't we take it down to like 30? There we go. That's maybe a bit less. 20. Okay, yeah, 20 looks good. We're going to go okay on that. Now we can come in here. We can turn off either of these layers. If we go, no, let's look at the original brightness and contrast. Also, we could jack up the brightness a bit. Jack the brightness up, and we could jack the contrast up. That's a bit better. There we go. Now that's fairly good for doing a value study. We got it all in black and white, pretty much. Create selection from layer, and now we're going to take that selection. We're going to move it. We're going to move it over here. We're going to give ourselves a playing field. And I'm going to jump up here to the flat color. And we're going to take this, we are going to take this black, and I'm going to make my pen really big, and we're just going to fill that whole thing in. Now, having done that, we're going to switch over to pure white. And I'm just doing pure white here. But I'm going to use a fairly large brush to start with. Right here, and an area of white right about here. And then we've got coming over to about here and up to about here. We gotta make that smaller. We've got an area of white there. We got some have that little area there. Now immediately above this, we got the neck. the neck roughed in there. That's way too close. Okay, our cross-hatching belongs right about there. And our neck belongs right about here. We've got the chin comes down at around there. I am not doing a very good job, but we're doing this in a large to small fashion. So it's okay to just kind of get the broad strokes. Broad strokes in place. We got this little kind of, this little island here. Little island around the eye. And then we have the other eye over here. Now, kind of comes around like so. Go across here. Okay. A little bit of a shadow here. This is not great, but it's not terrible either. It does kind of read. Now, if I go very small on this, and I just go, okay. I can kind of hatch my way to I got a nostril over here and nose there. Bit of the bridge of the nose. Bit there. This is not great, but at the same time, it's terrible. It really doesn't read that well. This is if you look at this, this is much too wide, which is an overcompensation because I've been noticing that my figures are much too narrow. So I've been trying to widen them out, and this is much too far of an overcompensation. But there's a thing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to toss that into the folder, I'm going to do, which one is this? I'm going to value 1. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's close that too. Nope, don't save. And let's grab a different reference to work from. Let's grab this one. Okay, so come over to our auto actions, add blur layers, hit it. And why doesn't it add the blur layers? Why does my first click not work? And I create a new image, we come down to reference, we paste it, we reselect the reference folder, and we Control T. Drag it over to the side. Resize. And now we go, yes, apply the transformation. We're going to new correction layer, hue, saturation, luminosity, saturation down to 0. Then we're going to go new correction layer, brightness, contrast. We're going to jack up the brightness. We're going to jack up the contrast. A bit brighter. More contrast. There we go. And again, come down here and we go selection from layer, create selection. Gives me an appropriate area, the right size. And let's drop down some blur levels to get something to work with. So we're gonna, well, let's. Okay, so let's. Fill that in black. And then flip over to white. And we'll go large area here. Actually, we were going to drop down some blur layers, weren't we? Let's now let's go ahead and we'll take this and we'll go cut and paste. And we're going to take that and we're going to bring it up to underneath of the flat color. Let's put it in the raster folder where it belongs. Okay, so there we got that. And now let's take our blur layers down a couple layers. Blur of 50. Okay, this is something to work with. Let's work a bit more on this shape language. I'm going to come down about to there. Across to here and up to there, so I'm worried about here. And across to here. It curves in, comes back up, out, and around. I'm only working with black and white here. Notice this kind of this bit right here. Right here we've got a wide bit, a shadow, and then a narrow bit. That narrow bit just kind of crosses over into that. Here we've got this little bit that comes up. Got the shape of the face here. We got a little down and around, like so. So here's kind of the face area. And then inside of the face area, we have this little bit here. That is much smaller than I'm making it. This bit comes in a little. And again, I've just gone overboard and making it too wide. Let's grab that. Put that in place. Since I'm only working in black and white, I can just use flipping back and forth between the colors. That's not bad. That's not bad. And hatch that. I don't like the look of that. I think we just need the pen smoke. It still didn't do that great. And there's a bit more of a that is giving us kind of the feel there. Okay, that's something. Okay. I'm going to do value 2. These are only taking about 10 minutes to do, so this little bit right here. Let me come up here. A little bit right. No, a little bit here. Here. That's called the Rembrandt triangle. Rembrandt is known for kind of putting that little triangular bit in his portraits to indicate the light hitting the other side of the face. So that's like a thing. Okay, let's do one more of these. And then we'll call it for the night. Let's grab something with more character to it. Let's grab this one. So we're going to come over here and we're going to go auto blur layers. Click. Doesn't work. And click it again and it works fine. I don't know what the hell's going on there. New image. Scroll down, reference, paste, select the folder, transform, drag it over, drag it out. And now we go, okay. Reference, correction layer, saturation and nothing. Reference, correction layer, brightness and contrast, brightness up, contrast up. Drop the contrast down a little, drop the brightness down a little. Drop the contrast down a little. Okay. That's something. So, yeah, okay. And now we come up here to the flat color layer. We're gonna selection from layer, create selection, flat color. Drag this over. And there we go. We already got black selected, so we're going to go very large brush. What is going on here? Flat color. I'm on flat color. I've got, there we go. All right, so we started out with black. Now, flip over to white. And we're going to go a little bit along like so. Got this little space up here, which is really more of a gray than a white. And we got this little bit here. And this little bit here. And we got a couple little shiny bits there. And from that point, we got, coming across here, we got this swipe downward. Side, in and swoop out, in and swoop out. And that all comes up around the hairline, so that needs to be a little bit rounder. Up and around like so. And come down there, but I'm going to sweep around here. And this, again, I'm getting too broad on that. It's up and around. And you can see that I am again getting things out of proportion. This, that's wider than I've got it. See, that's about right, but then it comes up and this bit here, that bit bumps out too much. This bit I've taken too far in. Okay, so let's finish filling this in. And we've got eye here, an eyebrow here, edge of the nose here, edge of the nose here, wing of the nose there. That's way too low. Got a eyebrow here. And we've got in this space here, there's bottom rim of the eye, the actual pupil of the eye, and we've got the upper This is not great. This is not by any stretch of the imagination great. But it is something, and it is an effort. There's the hood right there. A little bit more of the hood there. A deep shadow cutting in there. More of the hood over here. Coming up to the chin. And there's the other side of the hood. Light on the side of the collar. Light on the shoulder. Wow, that is really awful. I'm not happy with that at all. I'm not happy with any of this stuff. This looks terrible. The only way to do good work is to do a lot of bad work. I got the bad work part wired. I got I'm doing plenty of bad work. Oh shit, am I doing plenty of bad work? Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it at this point. I've done 3 shitty value studies. Do the little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. And okay, bye.